I served in the Marine Corps for slightly under 37 years. My last posting in the Marine Corps was as assistant commandant.
Okay, during what years?
I was commissioned in 1967 and retired in 2002.
So your last, so as you were the assistant commandant from what year to what year?
From 2000 to 2002.
2002. Wow, what a heady time that was. Okay. So what, if you can again recount that memory that you had of General Gray, that would be lovely.
Well, the first, it isn't really my memory, it's my wife's memory. But when General Gray was Brigadier General Gray, living at Quantico, he was a bachelor and lived in quarters on the top of the hill near the Officers Club. And my family and I lived in one of the apartments next door to the general's quarters. Unbeknownst to either of us, my 5 or 6 year old son, Matthew, ended up helping General Gray wash his car on Saturday, 2 or 3 weeks in a row. And one of the other mothers told my wife, "Did you know your son is playing with General Gray on Saturday morning?" So she scolded Matthew for it and said, "Do not go over to the general's house anymore." And about 3 weeks later, there was a knock on the door on Saturday. My wife answered it, and it was General Gray. And he said, "Where's Matthew?" And my wife, Barbara, said, "General, we're so sorry. We never meant to." But he said, no. Matthew helps me wash my car. So we let Matthew help General Gray wash his car, and General Gray's mom used to give him brownies. And that was the first time any of us had ever met or had anything to do with General Gray.
What do you think General Gray's legacy will be for the Marine Corps?
When General Gray became Commandant, I was a Lieutenant Colonel in the Requirements and Programs Division. And during his second year as Commandant, I was the branch chief of the programming branch at Headquarters Marine Corps. So I had intimate knowledge of the POM, the program, and the Commandant's priorities. And that the Commandant's priorities were obviously written by him and then published by us. And I think General Gray's lasting legacy for the Marine Corps was putting intellectual readiness on a par with physical readiness. And to put it in words that I don't know if General Gray ever used, but some of his staff did, it's great to run 3 miles in 18 minutes, but it's even better to know what you're going to do when you get there. And so his focus on education, and what we call intellectual readiness was a page turner for the Marine Corps. It really energized the schools, it energized the staffs, and most of all, it gave the warfighter a sense that the staff was really in support of them and not pursuing a different agenda. And I think that is the great legacy that he leaves the Marine Corps.
I don't think I could. Does anybody else have any other questions other than that? I really like that. You really kind of crystallized everything that I think I needed to hear. Do you have any other fond memories, funny, serious, that sort of thing of him and your interactions with him?
General Gray did not like paperwork. And that's being kind to paperwork. And his aide, one of his aides at the time he was Commandant, ended up as Commandant, General Jim Jones. And I was General Jones' Assistant Commandant. And he told the story of being an aide, and whenever the general would leave on a trip, he would spend hours in the office finding where General Gray had hidden all of the papers he didn't want to deal with. And it used to drive the aides crazy, and I think the general loved it.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you took from General Gray's legacy that helped you in your career?
Well, I think I took a great deal more interest in making sure I got to the appropriate level schools, to the Naval War College. I liked the fact that he published a list of books he wanted people to read, and he motivated my reading in directions that perhaps otherwise it would not have gone. You just felt that you were responsible for getting smarter, for reading, and in order to be a good Marine, it wasn't enough to run the PFT, you had to read and learn. And I think that motivated quite a few people in the Marine Corps. Certainly did me.